So yeah, it's the third episode of neurodivergency and different neurotypes, and this one is introducing D.I.D. So, um, once again, D.I.D is just your ability to tap into your ancestral karmic ties or ancestral karma, and you can basically access different parts of your ancestral genetics once healed, and basically you can utilize different parts of your genetic traits. Same thing as your personality traits. And I can tell you personality is your genetics, but it is. So it's not a disorder. It's just someone who's sensitive to their genetic to their genetics. They basically, they have access to genetic codes, so they're very sensitive to genetic codes within their bloodline. So it's like, yeah, genetic abilities. That's what it is. That's what it's truly called. So they have access to their genetic abilities, and certain genetic abilities have karmic ties to it, and those karmic ties may show up as unhealed trauma, which exists within their personality, unhealed personality. And that unhealed personality, they may, have a personality switch and start crashing out and shit. It might have personality switch and be a crash dummy. They might have personality switch, and now they trying to blow somebody down in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But usually they like to read books, and they have glasses on, and they are very studious. But now he over here trying to, like, sell drugs and do some crack, and then the next minute he switches, and now he's really great at math. He counting the dollars in the in the PayPal and shit. And then once again, now he's a great cook, or she's a great cook, some shit like that. And then once again, now she over there at the strip club. She's stripping, but it's that genetic trauma, that the karma within the bloodline is expressing itself through that sensitive, hypersensitive, hyper aware, or activated, or gifted soul or spirit, whether they be mortal or immortal, whether they be non-ether, okay, tight curl coil patterns, with dark skin tone, different shades, don't matter which one, what type of beagles you got, or you immortal, you got straight fur, straight hair, okay, with different kinds of light shaded skin, don't matter. You may pull up at the a mental health or counselor, or your psychiatrist or psychologist. Now they talking about you got D.I.D. No, you don't. You have an ability to tap into your genetic ancestral traits and utilize them at will. So when you're aware of it, you can, like, switch between different personality genetics and utilize them as you feel and see suit. And they can assist you with anything, like anything for real. Like, one of your personalities may know how to put together a car, and you ain't never put your hands on one in this incarnation, but your ancestors know how to do that. So they put together a car, put it out, know how to work a machine, know how to cook, know how to clean. It's a gift. But when it's unhealed, it's referred to as a generational curse, a karmic cycle, karmic debt, and you might call it, and some others who are, like, naive, they'll call, or just not even naive, just manipulate you. They manipulate you into thinking that it's a spiritual curse, like a hex or some shit. It ain't that. It ain't that. It is, but then, okay, that's what it's called, yes, but that's not what it is, though. Like, that's not why it happened. That's not why you have that curse. They're not gonna tell you your curses are your gifts. So they gonna call it a disorder, as to say that you're dysfunctional. But how can you be dysfunctional if you're not pathological? Okay, so pathological, if you don't know what that is it's when someone is consistent in a certain type of behavior that or their movement, or an attitude or personality that kind of like is influencing the way that they express themselves. Autism, OCD, ADHD, schizophrenia, none of that shit is pathological. Neither is bipolar. It doesn't affect your personality at all. So there's nothing, not even D.I.D. It doesn't affect your original personality. It's your ability to tap into you're expressing different aspects and parts of your personality, and they telling you that the reason why those different aspects and parts of your personality seem very different to the point where it seems like you're a whole different person if they told you that you have D.I.D., which you don't. That's not what it's called. I mean, not truly. They gonna tell you that it's because you have a personality split. It's fractured. No, you have different ancestral spirits that reside within your shadow along with you, that you are able to access their, shadows and express it through yourself. So you basically like a shadow walker. You basically a shadow walker, or you like a spirit walker or some shit if you ain't got a soul. Because different relatives can basically access your mind because you have the ability to tap into different genetics, and through those genetics are gateway portals that they can walk through. So you a spirit walker. You walk with that woo. That's not a disorder. That's a gift. And once you heal from that, or you're aware of it, you can utilize it at will. What if you have a personality that knows how to make you some? You gonna be complaining? Knows how to do you some? You gonna be complaining? Oh, it's a curse. No, is it? Are you sure? Are you sure though? Yeah, all right. So when your ancestors pull up for you and they show you how to do that, okay then. So it's not a curse. It's not a disorder because it's not pathological. The only ones that are pathological are cluster Bs, not cluster As, not cluster Cs, cluster Bs. Okay, cluster Bs, once again, psychopathy, narcissism, Machiavellianism, histrionic, paranoid, and they be the ones that be telling schizophrenics they crazy. How they fucking crazy? They're not abusing people for no reason, unless they got some shit like that too. And it's not like you can only have one. You can have more than one of those, but that's not what it's truly called, and that's not what's truly going on. No, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. So once you heal from that trauma that ancestor has, what happens is that gift is yours now. It's yours too. So you could even pull up and be like, hey, bro, I can assist you with it, or I can leave that part of me with you, and you could use it too. And their souls will just move on. Their spirits will just move on, and now you have the memory of how to do the things that they did, or you have the ability to kind of like, because one thing with the idea is that those personalities aren't always there. We've eventually, due to accounts, you can even refer to. They'll be like, I had this personality, and then it was just gone. I didn't need it anymore. And then this new personality came in, and I was like, and she was a little flamboyant. She girly girl, but I'm really more like a tomboy. So it's like it throws people off sometimes when I switch over. And, I got a bunch of dresses. I don't usually wear them, but Cynthia, which is the personality's name, does. Cynthia? Are you sure that's not your? It's not your aunt. That's not a blood relative that you just don't remember. Because genealogy, you ain't traced it back. That could be Cynthia for real. I mean, maybe that's just what she wants you to call her. That maybe that's her spirit's name. Maybe that's not even her. The name that she had when she was incarnated. She doesn't want to be called that. Her spirit's name is Cynthia. The soul's name was Rebecca, Jonathan, DeMarcus. But your name is Toby, ain't it? How that